Hey guys, what's up? I'm here with a review of a slasher horror film from 1983 from director Doris Wishman, who seemed to direct nothing but sexploitation films. So this is going to be an interesting one, and tonight's movie is A Night to Dismember. I'm not gonna lie, that's a very clever title. Um, a woman from a cursed family is released from a mental facility, and soon dismembered corpses start turning up all over the place. Before I go further, I'd like to mention something about this film. It was filmed without sound, and the sound effects, music, and dialogue were all dubbed over the film after it, which makes this film notoriously bad. So let's see if it is that bad. The film opens with a detective narrating the film, saying that what you're about to see is a true story about how most of the family was actually murdered. And man, the dubbing is just horrible. So we get a scene of a woman in a bathtub being murdered, and the music is so upbeat in the scene that it seems really funny and out of place. Um, so then you get two guys walking through a cemetery, and then they both die, and the person who committed the murders is let out of the asylum. Great idea. And the person who committed the murders is going to end up staying with her sister, who survived the murders. Another great idea. And I'm pretty sure they're in the same house where the murders were committed. Another great idea. So Vicky, the killer, starts to see things and hear things in the house, and the narrator describes her hallucinations and delusions. But according to the film earlier, Vicky hid all of her hallucinations and everything from everybody. Didn't tell anybody about this, so that way people wouldn't know she was insane. So Vicky's sister plans to send her back to the hospital. Let's see, more hallucinations. Um, then we get Sandy, this chick, Sandy, and her boyfriend making out and stuff, and it's a very prolonged scene of kissing in Sandy's bare legs. Oh my god, so sexy. No, but the guys But the guy hears a noise, he goes to see what's going on. He stumbles around aimlessly in the dark before coming back and saying, oh, there's nobody out there. Then he gets beheaded very cheesily along with his girlfriend. And I must say, the first beheading in Pieces was more realistic than the beheading in this fucking thing. Um, so Vicky wants to hide the fact that she's insane, but at the dinner table, she's sitting around acting like a complete nut. Vicky goes to her uncle, who rejects her. She goes home crying badly, and then she kills her uncle and the uncle's wife. I'm pretty sure would still be her aunt. And she rips out her uncle's heart and flattens her aunt's head with the car. Awesome. Um, and the head, and then she murders this random woman with a hatchet, and the head gets stuck on the hatchet in a very cheesy way, like as if it got stuck on the styrofoam head, and they couldn't get it off. But anyway, as we reach the 30-minute mark, and I would like to say that this is the 30-minute mark. This movie is only about an hour long. So yeah. Will anyone be able to stop Vicky, or will her murderous rampage never end? A Night to Dismember. Not only is it a cheesy horror pun, it is also a cheesy horror movie full of plot holes, awful dubbing, awful acting, music, effects, writing, and plot. This is one for fans of bad movies, because this one's pretty enjoyable. It's no Plan 9 from Outer Space in the masterpiece of bad movies, but it's still pretty bad. The commentary slash narration over the film is bad, and it kind of adds to the campiness and the watchability of this bad movie, or unwatchability if you don't like bad movies. The lighting and camera work are actually pretty good for this film, and apparently this was like Doris Wishman's, like, one of her last films she made, and it was probably the one she made that was like the most professionally made. And apparently, like, they lost a lot of footage in it that would explain a lot more about the plot, so they just put together what they had. That's why it's only an hour long. On the gore meter from 1 to 10, 1 being something like the Corpse Grinders and 10 being something like Brain Dead. This movie's a 5 or 6. It's about as violent as, like, I want to say maybe one of Herschel Gordon Lewis's earlier splatter films. Really enjoyable, really funny. If you enjoy cheesy movies that are, if you know, it's a grade A cheese movie that is perfect for a bad movie night with friends and maybe even a couple beers. 4 out of 5 stars. I would highly recommend this to anybody that loves bad movies. Anyway, guys, I'm Biscuit Boo 69 signing off. Peace.
You're listening to a demo for